Okay guys, today we're going to be looking at another common problem which I see in a lot of my clients, and that is reduced ankle mobility, or what they call Dorsi Flexion. Most people, when they go to squat, may be okay up to about here, but as soon as they need to take that squat lower, they'll find themselves rolling heavily onto the toes. Once again, we've discussed this before. Now, if we've sorted out the whole falling back and opening the groin and so on, and that is still happening, it's probably going to come down to the ankle, okay? To your ability to basically get that sort of degree. Okay, realistically, ankle mobility probably won't improve overnight, but it can improve. It's just going to take a bit of time and some mobility exercises that I'll show you. The first one is quite a common one, you may have seen that before. You can assume a kneeling stance and place your foot, probably start with the toe nice and close to the wall, and leaving the heel flat on the floor, reach in, try to get the knee against the wall. If that's nice and easy, put your foot back a little bit. Once again, lean forward, maintaining that nice flat heel. I'm still okay there, so I'm going to go back a little bit. And forward to about there. That's where I'm finding probably my limit, my spot. At the same time, I've got quite a lot of dorsiflexion here, so obviously I wouldn't have any problems at the bottom of the squat. But that's one thing you can do, is to measure out how far you can go and maybe measure it on the floor and slowly work your way further away from the floor with your foot so you can get the knee slightly more forward. This is another one that I was shown by Andrew Reid of Breaking Muscle, and it's quite a good one. You can go back into your split stance if you like, or keep the knee off the floor, it's up to you, okay? What you're going to do is place one hand across the foot like so, and then always trying to keep that heel nice and flat, lean forward and hold the heel down with the opposite hand and just start maneuvering the knee through, okay? Once again, the whole aim is to keep that heel flat, so if you find yourself rising, you've gone past your point of flexibility for that time being. Okay, so we trap the foot down, hold it nice and tight, come forward, you can start leaning out slightly, never force the stretch against what it wants to do. And then we can also do the opposite, where placing the foot across this way, we start to go inwards, okay? If you feel pain, just pause, come back, you may have gone too far, but that's one way of doing it. Sometimes any ankle mobility issue may also stem from a tight calf or a short calf. I see this particularly in women who've worn high heels in their younger years for a long time, so the calf can actually contract and shorten. So what we want to do is work to re-lengthen that. You can use a foam roller if you like. You can just YouTube foam roller stretches for the calf, or it's as simple as, once again, finding a wall and raising the toe. You want to keep the knee straight and get the knee nice and close to the wall. Now if you're doing it right, obviously the stretch would be on the calf. Try to keep the knee from bending, otherwise you're going to take some of that stretch away. But just leaning in, get a nice stretch, hold that for about 5, breathe out, release, and so on. So just remember, it can also arise from shortened or tight calves. Now, does that mean that until you've gained ankle mobility that you won't be able to squat deep? No, you can. There is a trick that you can use which can actually, through time, increase flexibility. I've seen some of my clients increase ankle mobility purely by using this. All you need is 2 plates, say about height, okay, nothing too drastic, and you're basically going to give yourself some high heels. So we're going to create some artificial dorsiflexion simply by raising the heels. Don't put the entire foot on the plate, just the actual heel part. Get into your stance, remember everything we've talked about tucking yourself in, and as you fall into the squat, you'll find that if you normally roll heavily on the toes, right now you can sit dip and you've actually gained some Dorsi Flexion purely by raising the heel. So now that's a cool little trick as well, so you can start to build mobility at the ankle simply by doing this, okay? Or at least working to get your squat deeper. Keep in mind there are a ton of different exercises that you can do to increase mobility. I just showed you a couple, really. Once again, sometimes the flexibility may not be at the actual ankle, it may not be tight calves, it could be around the groin and the hip. We'll be exploring that. I'm actually going to be showing you a sequence of stretches and dynamic warm-ups that you can do to increase flexibility and around the groin, around the glute, around the hamstrings, so on. All muscles are going to help you to get into that squat position. Okay, I hope you enjoyed today's. Catch me on the next one. Cheers.